Craig Morgan, and I'll call you right now a rugby tragic. Okay, so we capture that a little one. 3 years on, about to run another sevens tournament on the Central Coast. Things have changed, and you've learned a few things. Tell me about the start of it. Why are you doing this?
It just started basically because I'm a massive rugby fan. I've been involved with rugby since the age of 7. And realised that sevens was a sport that was about to go through the roof. It's now just become in 2009 an Olympic sport. It's been a Commonwealth Games sport for a while, and the Central Coast doesn't really have a major place with rugby on the coast. So it was my way of trying to highlight the sport and bring some big football to the coast and a major event for the region.
In setting up this and getting to the third year, what surprised you, I guess, in a business sense?
Yeah, surprise, I would say not so much surprise, because I really believe in what we're doing. More excitement for the involvement of the events, different key elements that have happened over the last 3 years. Number one was just getting it off the ground in the first instance. We had a vision for it. We wanted to lay a very strong foundation, and that's what we've done. This year we've had some great developments where we've joined an association with the Fijian Coral Coast Sevens, who are inviting our champions over to their tournament in November. All these things are developments where we've been approached because of the standard of tournament that we're running. So yeah, I wouldn't say we've had any surprises, but we have had some hurdles along the way. Getting support is always a major issue, and sharing the vision that you have. You know what you want it to be. But getting that across to other people.
And you've got a special tournament name supporter who's been around, and it's an unusual position for them to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, we're lucky enough to have Fitness First as our official naming rights partner. We've had them from day one, so their support's been outstanding. Fitness First are obviously an international organisation, and locally they see the benefits of what we're doing, and they've supported us from the beginning, and without that support the tournament just doesn't happen.
With regard to get, as they say in the trade, getting traction, is it a one? Am I talking to the administrator, the tournament organiser, and the receptionist here in front of me right now?
At the moment you are. Basically there's a lot of work goes into it, and it's my vision and I know how I want it to be, but what we're looking to do is we're starting to get some people involved in different capacities, and next year we'll be going to a whole other level again. So the work will be able to be spread across a board next year, where I can sort of wind back a little bit my total involvement and concentrate on key elements of the event, and yeah, let people specialise in their fields.
Okay. Let's talk. You have done something which I think the coast itself has been hanging out for and encouraging for quite a while, and that is start an event or an occasion from scratch and build it. Have you had much support from the governments?
Not as yet. Local government, yes. I mean, Wyong Council are on board with us. They're a great supporter. I think they see the benefit, because there's tourism benefits there too, because a lot of the participants this year are coming from outside the region. The Central Coast is represented, but we are attracting premier participants from all around Australia and from overseas. So local levels, yes, but we are going to look at trying to go to the next level for next year, because we have to stay in touch with some of the other events that are similar to ours.
So what's that next level look like?
We'd like some support from the state government, because at the moment we would be New South Wales premier rugby sevens event. So we'd like to keep that mantle and keep pushing forward before a Sydney comes in and tries to walk all over us. So we're very conscious of trying to get a larger level of support from the government, because we do have some significance with tourism and promoting areas outside of Sydney.
The opportunity, we were just talking to, and I'll get the name wrong, but imagine I said the right state government's name when I'm saying industry and investment. Also the Regional Development Australia. Have you had contact with them?
We have. They came to last year's events. They came along and witnessed what transpired, and we had a chat, and they were very interested. We have followed up on that interest, but unfortunately nothing's come to at this stage, but it's something we will.
It's never
persist.
too late. If we get to play this video to them.
Yep, it is never too late. We're very persistent, and we don't push, but we're persistent. We have a vision for what we want, and we go about getting it.
Excellent, excellent. I was going to make a comment about a rugby player not pushing. It's incongruous, but we won't even go there.
No worries.
So that's the next 12 months. Take it to the next level. You've got still opportunities, I would think, for this year's alliances to be built for accommodation and travel and hospitality and all sorts of things. Again, I'm talking to the founding organiser of that. Has that been an easy process?
No, it hasn't. Getting local support is sometimes difficult. Once again, it's sharing the vision. I do find sometimes on the coast, you've got to be established for a few years before people start to believe in what you believe in. But we're now dealing with Central Coast Tourism, who've been great. They're assisting in relation to helping participants secure accommodation, those sorts of things. But there's a lot more that can be done in relation to, we try to showcase the region as part of the tournament. It's not just about football, because you can go to the back of Bourke to play football, but you've got to have all those things around it regarding the region that people are attracted to want to come here and watch, come here and play. So we heavily try to promote what else they can do when they come to the coast, because it's not just about what happens on the field.
And there is an argument that suggests that rugby tragics are filtered through all levels of business, so there's an opportunity to impress.
Very much so. Rugby covers everybody. Kids right through to professionals and everyone in between. It doesn't discriminate, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, it caters to all sizes. The beauty with what we're doing is with sevens, it's a very electrifying atmosphere on field, but it's also a carnival off the ground. We've got things like a sideline DJ. We've got market stalls. We've got all sorts of amusement rides. So it's not just about football.
So if people want to add or get involved with that ambience on the day, they should come and talk to you, I guess, Craig, do they?
Yeah, definitely. We're happy to be approached by anyone. We have market store holders contact us, and there's always something we can work on. We don't have a hard and fast rule on what we can and can't do. We're happy to listen to people and try to work in with people. We've engaged a couple of local cultural groups this year who are going to be participating on the day itself and the following day at a cultural festival we run as well. That's a local Maori group and the local Indigenous group, because that's part of Australian culture, is multiculturalism. So
the event really is, while the football's played on the Saturday, the Sunday is also full of other activities. Yeah,
on the Sunday we're at the Beachcomber Hotel where the cultural festival happens, and we have the Maori group doing a hangi, the Fijian groups, so we've got 3 Fijian teams flying in. One of those groups is approximately 30 people, so they'll be doing cultural performances on the day. There'll be Fijian accompaniments to the food and all sorts of performances happening. So it's not just about the rugby, but the rugby obviously is paramount, because the rugby is used as a talent identification event by the Australian Rugby Union. So it provides local participants real opportunity.
Excellent. Now you've got your opportunity of what gets up your nose. The opportunity to change something. Yep. And what would that be?
That would probably be the levels of support we receive locally from the administration of the Rugby Union. It's something that we're trying to drive. We want rugby to be a major sport on the coast. Obviously you have your major franchises in Super 15s, you've got the Wallabies. New South Wales Waratahs, being the New South Wales Waratahs, technically really are focused on Sydney, even though they're a New South Wales brand. I look at it and go, why don't we do something on our own? And that's through the sevens. Let's have a major festival, a major tournament that grabs their attention as well. We've grabbed the national attention, the Australian Rugby Union, they're entering, so I'd really love to see everyone involved in rugby on the coast get behind it and support it.
So do we have any local teams?
The Central Coast actually has a team that's entered in as a given. They're the first team entered every year, complimentary, because they represent the region.
Should there be more than one, I would have thought?
Beyond that, it comes down to the levels of support the governing body want to provide. Now, I do know that they're an independently run team. They are endorsed by the Central Coast Rugby, but they're not actually put together by Central Coast Rugby. They're put together by an individual coach. And that's a great effort, because we need to have the coast represented. I mean, to me, I look at it and go, these players that participate for the coast have opportunities to be in front of national selectors. The ARU will be in attendance. They have their talent scouts there and their high performance unit there. They get to play a higher level of rugby. They get to play against international teams, and I think that's great. You do sometimes get some negativity that that level of rugby can't compete with this level of rugby. Where I look at things differently. I think you should have a chance to play against the best, because then you know where you stand. And in sevens, anything can happen. That's the beauty of it. Anyone on the day, you play the right style of football, you can win. So I'm all for the local team going out there and doing their best and seeing where they are and having a crack at the big boys.
And you're supporting, or not supporting, that's the wrong word. You have a women's competition as well?
Yes, we do. We have 8 women's teams. That's going from strength to strength. There's a major focus on the women's game at the moment due to the fact that of the Olympics and a World Cup coming up in the next year or two. Basically, we're attracting some significant interest. We're expecting the Samoan national team to enter within the week, and we do have the Australian team also entered in that, and teams basically coming from ACT and all over Sydney.
Fantastic, fantastic. And they'd have representative or judges of representative quality women's teams at the tournament as well.
Definitely.
Reviewing the talent.
They have the same pathway as the men. There are ID opportunities there where basically the women will be selected for representative opportunities. I do believe the Sydney women's team are going to look at selecting their team based on our tournament, which is great. They'll then go on to other tournaments based as the Sydney team. So we're happy to provide a forum for these girls to come and do their thing and hopefully get rep honours. And that's something that we provide, and we're very proud of that. That's something that, one of the major things that we love about the tournament is that we do provide opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it's fantastic you've got some support, even if it is coach driven.
Yes.
But hey, that's where it starts. Well, it would be great to get more, and we wish you well in that. But again, it'll be a big weekend in October, and we look forward to being there.
Much appreciated.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.